Okay. Bueno. Bien, bienvenidos. Este es el 15º Hangout, Meetup del grupo. Normalmente hacíamos las sesiones en castellano, pero las hemos ido haciendo luego en inglés, así que si no os importa, haré la presentación en inglés. Además tenemos dos ponentes luego, ahora estamos grabando el vídeo, esto aparecerá en YouTube, si queréis luego compartirlo. Okay, I will share my desktop. Okay, then who from you are new in this meetup? The first time. Okay, always is the same. Most of the people is the first time. I don't know what happened with the people who leave the group, but always are new people. Okay, it's good. Well, it's a good sign. So today we will talk about augmented reality related to head-mounted displays and virtual reality. Every time we choose one of these topics, and we expand all the technologies to the group. We are welcome to more technologies, not only augmented reality. So we celebrate this meetup today for the second time in the ENTI school, thanks to Richard and Johan, director of the school, Oscar, the staff of this school. They are really helpful for us. This is a school on gaming and multimedia productions. They are really a reference not only in Spain, also around the world. Well, I will do a short presentation to introduce what is the scenario of this kind of devices now, because it's as you know, the technology it's going forward. And if I do this speech 1 month ago, probably I won't include some of the slides. For example, this one. It's about Oculus. Oculus has announced last week the new version of the Rift. They call now just Rift. They have changed all the branding and everything. They are looking for the mass public now. At this point, they changed the strategy. At first, Oculus was developed for developers. We have one of the second developer kit here in this table. So can you show you can experience after the speeches the Oculus. Did you fix the issue? No? Well, we have more examples on Rift, but Sergi promised me that was preparing an amazing experience in Oculus today. Well, something about the new version. They have included what they call the half moon sensors. They call the project Half Moon. They want to do one step forward in interaction with joysticks. The Rift includes on the pack joystick from the Xbox. It's included. But not only this, they include the Half Moon joysticks. You can interact from each hand in that separately, and these sensors around are tracking your fingers. If you do something with your fingers in the air, you can do some gesture controls, and you can configure shooting and doing something. They are separate, so you can activate one, not the other. So this is really complex for developers, and they are waiting for what they have on the store. So that is what they say. So we are really expecting what the developers will do in this case. They include the earplugs, and they have changed the shape. It's more fashion, I think, but it's more comfortable. Everything. So these are some of the changes they include on this. HTC Baillot, they have made a partnership with STAM platform of video game to offer this device, the VR, and it's in front of Oculus. If we compare them, they are both really good devices, but they are focusing in several ways. For example, the HTC includes a tracking of your room. On the pack includes 2 sensors that you must place on the room for tracking to you. These are sensors from Steam. Right. Also, it has 100 and 1080 pixels per screen, per eye. So it's really increasing. They are really increasing the resolution. You have the audio included, and you have also some controllers to the head-mounted display to control your. You can customize these controllers. Well, it's one example. One more example. The project called Star VR. This project, as you know, was the first step of this project is the Infinite Eye. This brand, this company, has disappeared, and the Starbreeze Studios has made a partnership with this company, and they create together the project called Star VR. This device is one of the most complex on the resolution and the way as you experience the scene. The partnership with Starbreeze Studios is focused on the content creation of films, immersive films. You can feel like being the first person into the film or something like that, but the quality of the resolution will make you feel like being inside the Walking Dead, for example, but really inside the film. These are what they are focusing on. Imagine today we have invited to Dan Kui. We are really proud to have this speaker on the list, and is the speakers today. We will talk about more this device. Caster. We have lot of notice, a lot of news about Caster. Every time we go to Congress, they are all showing the device. We are still waiting for the. But they are really offering some immersive on the inverse version of the head-mounted displays. As we know, for example, we are not placing the image on the eye. We have 2 projectors like this one, 2 projectors that reflect on a table where we have placed previously a flat surface that they sail with the pack. That surface you put on the table, you have these projectors, and from the eyes you can see something on the table. It's similar to HoloLens effect, but the purpose is that you are projecting, you are not receiving. Well, I want to show you this project. Did you saw this? Oh. This. Something that we can do with virtual reality. This one, this project. Where is the video? This one. Imagine that you are into the car driving in a virtual world. This is the project they are doing as a brand marketing campaign. The car is tracked by GPS sign. Inside the car, you have a computer that is receiving the tracking signal and mapping your car into the virtual world. So you are driving in a virtual world. The car is tracked, and you can feel like being on this place. Of course, they have selected an airplane, an airport. Oh, this is real. Well, as they say, or as I don't know exactly if it's a fake, but it's technology is inside the car, and maybe we can believe that it's real. Well, one of the most amazing marketing campaigns they have ever seen in virtual reality. Turn up. Well, sorry. Okay. Some other devices that are in the market are looking for the customer, the mass public. Look at the Wearability. It's a Kickstarter project for pocket glasses. Or the new OptimBen proposal. If you remember, the first OptimBen device was a device with a glass that you can change from augmented reality to virtual reality, just moving the headset in 2 positions. But this is a new product they are showing. It's like here. And you have here the screen, and you can place in front. But because there is something that are worried about virtual reality and augmented reality. It's about fashion. So, will I wear these glasses depending on technology? No, people are thinking about if they are fashionable or not. It's the reality. So I will wear if I like it, the design, something like that. It's one of the factors that people are thinking about. So some companies has detected this. Well, of course, it's not, because if you are wearing the Seabright project, maybe it's more for industry, or it's another Kickstarter from. Well, we are offering the cardboard as a product. We offer the cardboard as a product. We are now doing the second version of the cardboard. If you want some of this, you can subscribe to the second version. And we are also doing an own version, portable first version. HoloLens, the project HoloLens has created a big campaign on the last AWI Congress. Have you seen this video? Yes. About the Minecraft? Well, last week was celebrated the main congress in augmented reality in the world. It's the AWI. No? So there you could see all about these technologies, and they show finally some development with the HoloLens. and it was amazing, the video. But the best I've seen is this project. I don't know if you know the Void project. No. Imagine that 10 parks like PortAventura, like Walt Disney parks, and something like this is made on virtual world. So this is a really project I want to share with you. Audio is possible in here. Audio. Well, imagine that this is the park. This just flat walls, flat floor, flat ceilings. You are into a place for gaming, like, but you are wearing a jacket that is tracked with sensors. You have a head-mounted display, this, and also gloves. With these elements and also some other devices, you can feel being like fighting with virtual avatars. You can feel like being inside a spacecraft. And every sensor, everything you touch is on virtual reality, but also you have experience of touching something. Also, this kind of guys are into that place and also in the virtual world. And you can feel the humidity and everything and experience something like the imaginary world, but really touchable. Huh? Well, this is the project, and they are creating these kind of places around the world, or almost this is the project where they are involved in. Everything will be imagine that you are a team and you can play together. You can see other players like avatars exactly in the place they are, and you are tracked like them, and you are together all involved in a game. So it's really nice. So I hope to experience this soon. Well, that's it. First speaker is Juan. Okay, Juan, cuando tú quieras.
Hi everybody, hola a todo el mundo. Bueno, muchas gracias lo primero a Isidro por invitarme a este hang. No veo quiénes estáis ahí, pero bueno, imagino que hay bastante gente. Mi nombre es Juan Barambones. Yo aterricé en el mundo de la tecnología hace relativamente poquito tiempo, hace un par de años. Soñé con un pequeño mando a distancia para la Google Glass. Justo acababan de arrancar. Y bueno, después de mucho trabajo y de mucho esfuerzo, conseguimos hacer el dispositivo. Fabricar hoy en día un pequeño hardware es bastante complicado. Mucho más resultaba hacer el mando a distancia, sobre todo porque Google siempre es bastante suyo. Digamos que juega un poco en su liga. Y hoy todavía tenemos bastantes problemas con el tema del soporte, ¿no? Como todos sabéis, el tema de la Google no está muerto, pero va a un ritmo diferente al que iba antes. Y bueno, este primer proyecto, digamos, que arrancamos hace 2 años, lo tenemos un poco ahí, a la espera de ver cuál es el siguiente paso que da Google, ¿no? En estos 2 años, desde que empecé, como digo, yo siempre digo, yo soy un cerrajero, ¿no? Tengo una pequeña cerrajería que hoy por hoy es lo que me da de comer, ¿no? Todo esto de la tecnología lo tengo más o menos como un hobby. En este tiempo también me subí al carro, digamos, de la realidad virtual, ¿no? Al momento, cuando vi que Google lo tenía eso un poquito parado, el verano pasado, uno de los socios que tenemos, llegó de vacaciones, yo estaba haciendo un dispositivo para andar, digamos, con una gafa de esta red virtual, ¿no? Para andar sin caerte, estaba haciendo mis pruebas y me comentó que estaría bien mezclar realidad virtual con el mundo submarino, ¿no? Entonces yo empecé a atar cabos y conseguí, digamos, diseñar, ¿no? Un dispositivo como este, que es un casco, digamos, disfrutar de la realidad virtual debajo del agua. Es un dispositivo que lleva una zona, digamos, interior, que es la que se te acopla a la cara para que te evite que entre agua. Y luego, en esta parte de aquí, lleva un case, digamos, para meter un smartphone. Entonces, con ese smartphone es con lo que, digamos, haríamos el tema de la realidad virtual, ¿no? Este proyecto está ahora en fase de, digamos, desarrollo. Hemos hecho el primer modelo funcional y, bueno, lo hemos validado. Es una experiencia realmente inmersiva porque es para utilizarlo debajo del agua y ahora está en fase, digamos, de desarrollo, ¿no? Estamos viendo de qué manera poder seguir avanzando en el proyecto, ¿no? Básicamente, como digo, es como una especie de snorkel que lleva dentro, digamos, un smartphone. Esta parte de aquí sirve para respirar, con lo cual, cuando tú estás sumergido, esto es lo que sobresale del agua, lo que permite poder respirar a la vez que está uno inmerso dentro de una piscina. Y básicamente está pensado no solamente para ver experiencias hechas por ordenador, en 3D, digamos, sino también para ver vídeos, ¿no? De tal manera que alguien puede grabar un vídeo esférico 360 en la carrera de coral y luego a través de un smartphone tú poder estar en la piscina teniendo, digamos, la misma sensación, ¿no? El proyecto este está, digamos, hemos solicitado la patente del mismo y bueno, la verdad es que la red virtual ha arrancado ahora, en la presentación anterior lo habéis podido ver, ¿no? Hay muchísima gente trabajando alrededor de la red virtual. No es igual que el tema de la Google Glass. La Google Glass era un dispositivo, digamos, cerrado de un fabricante. Con el tema de red virtual, como es algo que lleva tantísimos años ahí, aunque parezca que acaba de salir ahora, ¿no? Que prácticamente lleva un año, desde que un par de años, pero realmente la red virtual está, no sé, diría, ciento y pico años, ¿no? O sea, ya hay primeros prototipos de dispositivos de red virtual desde el siglo pasado, ¿no? De hace 2 siglos, mejor dicho. Pero sí que es verdad que en los últimos 2 años, a raíz de la compra de Oculus Rift por Facebook, sí que se ha reactivado, ¿no? O sea, ahora realmente sí que se dan las condiciones, sí que hay la tecnología suficiente como para que la realidad virtual dé ese gran salto, ¿no? Y todos los marcadores indican que ha llegado para quedarse y que en los próximos años va a ir en continuo aumento. Paralelamente a este un proyecto, el proyecto del Nautilus lo hago con una startup que fundé precisamente para el tema del mando para la Google Glass. Y paralelamente también he empezado a desarrollar un videojuego enfocado también a realidad virtual, ¿no? Una bueno, no he dicho antes que soy de Cáceres, soy de Extremadura. Es una región que estamos bastante aislados un poco del resto del mundo, ¿no? No tenemos la suerte de estar al lado, estar en Madrid, en Barcelona, que son quizás los polos donde se concentra el mayor número de oportunidades con respecto a la tecnología. Pero bueno, en Cáceres hay una facultad de informática y hace más o menos 3 o 4 meses me pregunté por qué no había en Cáceres alguna empresa que se dedicara a desarrollar videojuegos, ¿no? Me parecía un poco extraño, o sea, no entendía muy bien por qué, ¿no? Entonces, digamos que es el siguiente paso que he querido dar, ¿no? Crear un estudio de videojuegos en Cáceres, que es una ciudad que yo creo que hay suficiente capital humano para llevarlo a cabo. De hecho, bueno, en el proyecto estamos 8 personas y todavía no puedo enseñar mucho más porque prácticamente llevamos 2 o 3 meses de desarrollo y no hemos podido avanzar mucho más allá de los concepts y de las primeras pinceladas, pero esperemos que para septiembre ya podamos tener un poquito más avanzado el proyecto. Es muy interesante, si acaso, digamos, una de las características que más me gusta de ese proyecto es que queremos que sea un proyecto colaborativo a nivel de desarrolladores, en el sentido de que utilizamos la plataforma, o sea, el motor de desarrollo Unity 3D, que muchos conoceréis, y queremos poner a disposición de los desarrolladores una serie de herramientas para que sean partícipes, digamos, del propio videojuego, ¿no? Para que puedan hacer sus mods y puedan meterlos dentro del videojuego, ¿no? O sea, que el videojuego, además de ser un videojuego, sea una plataforma, digamos, de aprendizaje, ¿no? Y bueno, básicamente eso es mi presentación.
Bueno, muy bien, Juan. Bueno, se me olvidó decir, bueno, el nombre, la empresa es Remote, ¿no?
La empresa Remotte, Remote con 2 T's. Aquí tengo lo podéis ver. Esta es la cajita que tenemos del mando. A ver si, por cierto, os hago llegar un pequeño mando para que lo probéis con vuestra Glass. Y bueno, es un dispositivo curioso. Está diseñado para Glass y es una pena que Google vaya tan lento con el proyecto, ¿no? Pero bueno, confiemos en que se reactive en los próximos meses.
Muy bien, pues muchas gracias, Juan.
Muy amable, un saludo a todos y
Ahora, David Marimon de CATCHOOM.
No, sí. Vamos.
No, espera. ¿Sí?
Porque Dan quizá y ellos no van a ver mi presentación.
No.
Sé.
Bueno, hazlo muy descriptiva.
Vale.
En la pantalla se ve, ¿no?
Vale, sí.
Algo así.
Okay. Okay, so I will switch to English. So first off, well, I wanted to thank once again Isidro for organizing the meetups and for inviting me. I have to confess that I'm quite proud of being in the same session with Yohan, Baillot, and Dankwi. For those who do not know these people, they are really veterans in head-mounted displays. To give you an idea, I did a PhD in computer vision and augmented reality, and I started in 2003. By then, there were already articles by Yohan Baillot talking about HMDs. So these are really people who are, let's say, ages ahead of what you're seeing now in the news and the devices that you're now touching. These are really people who have been in the trenches for a very long time. So I'm happy about that, and I wanted to talk to you about the Augmented World Expo, the event that Isidro was mentioning that happened last week in Santa Clara, California. And we were there. CATCHOOM has been there. This was the 4th time that we are there. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we released there in terms of the software tools that we developed, and also some things that we saw, and again that we developed actually with people who study here at ENTI. So it's kind of all together. So first I wanted to give you an idea of what we released, and for that I need to do a small introduction. So CATCHOOM does augmented reality and image recognition software tools, and I will now specifically talk about image recognition. So by image recognition, there are different fields like face recognition or object classification. So being able to, from a picture, know if it's a steam train under the Matterhorn or something like this in Switzerland, or character recognition, for instance, so object character recognition, which is used for like reading your plates of a car when you're in the parking lot. And we focus on image recognition. So what we are trying to achieve here is being able to go through a very large data set of images. For instance, let's say a catalog of book covers of a certain publisher, and by snapping a picture of a real object, a real book, being able to identify which book is inside the database. Okay. So with this kind of technology, CATCHOOM has delivered over 3 years of existence more than 420 million image recognitions to date. So these are people who use our tools that create applications, and with those applications, they deliver massive amounts of interactions with the real world, mainly in things like print, so magazines like Glamour, or advertising and marketing most of the time. But all of this for CATCHOOM has been in the cloud. So we were providing our solution as something that was running in a server, either our own servers, and we provide this through APIs, or the servers of our customers. And at Augmented World Expo, we released the on-device image recognition SDK. So basically what the on-device image recognition SDK does is we took our technology that was running in the cloud, and in collaboration with Intel, we moved it to something that was optimized for tablets and smartphones. And we were showing it. So let me give you a few ideas of what you can do with this. So imagine you're stuck in the motorway and your car breaks down, and you want to understand the symbol that appears in the middle of the dashboard. Instead of going to the car manual and trying to read it, what you could do is take your smartphone, point directly to the symbol, and the device, the application from the car manufacturer would identify that symbol and tell you, okay, now you have to do this, you have to do that. Okay. But typically you don't have internet network when you're in the middle of a motorway. So that's why you could do this with on-device image recognition. Another example is if you are familiar or you use tools in the augmented reality space and you use some cloud image recognition provider, what happens typically is that there is a cost per recognition. So you have to pay every time the system returns a match. Okay, so it's a few cents, but imagine that you run an application like Second Screen. So you have your TV show like La Voz or The Voice in the UK, and at a certain moment, the TV show wants that people at home interact with the TV show. Okay, so typically there is what's called a second screen application that you can like discuss something on the social networks, or play a quiz, or do a poll, or in this case make a donation. You could do that just by pointing the device to the screen, so recognize immediately. Now, if you do this with the cloud and you are in a TV program like or one of those, you will have a spike of 1 million hits hitting your server. Okay, and not only the size of those servers is typically not prepared for such a big traffic peak, but also you have to pay the bill for that many amount of interactions that will become very expensive. So if you do it on the device, then the kind of interactivity that you will have is all only running on the device and then is distributed. Another thing that we have worked on and that we have patented is the ability to combine on-device image recognition with cloud, with a cloud service. So with that in mind, I can give you an example. So if you have a mobile commerce or an e-commerce site, like your preferred store online, typically what happens is that the products have this shape. So there is a small head that is very popular and a very long tail that is not so much popular. Okay, so imagine there's 1,000 objects that I don't know, gets requested every second, and a very long tail of products that people request every month or something like this. So you could use on-device SDK for these 1,000 objects, and then if you don't find any match, go to the cloud and find the right object. So this is what we presented at the event, and it's available. Well, you don't need to visit our booth anymore, but I reuse the slides, of course. So you can try it for free. It's available on iOS and Android. So this is the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and now I'm moving to the second one. So one of the CATCHOOM throughout these years has been a sponsor of the event. So we try to contribute to make this industry bigger and larger. And one of the things that we have done repeatedly is develop a game for the event. Okay. And this year, what we wanted to do is a game that involved glasses, augmented reality glasses or smart glasses or whatever name you want to give it. But instead of being in a closed environment, so instead of covering your eyes, you can see through the glasses. Okay, and between your eyes and the real world, there is a small crystal display that can show you virtual objects. Okay, merged with reality. So this we developed with the Unity SDK that we presented the last time that we were here. So the Unity SDK used our software, and it was designed by a student of ENTI, actually, from Damian Fernandez. He's on the year of his studies. And it was developed in collaboration with David Leon from Lindsay Works, that I think that he has been here also presenting their game. And another, I think he's a future student of ENTI. He's somebody who registered, and hopefully he gets accepted. So let me show you what this video is about. So, okay, so these are the glasses, the Odyssey glasses. This is Mark, future student. And first thing, well, the game asked you to introduce the credentials because at the end of the event, they were giving away a pair of glasses to the one who got got the best score. So there were 3 games inside this game. The first one was called Marble Ball, and basically what you had is this kind of labyrinth that typically is made of wood, and you have a marble ball inside. So with the glasses you could see that, and you could use your hands. That's one of the advantages of using a head-mounted display, right? So your hands free and you can do that. The second game was called Space Zapper, and sorry, Space Rider. And what you use is this marker as a steering wheel. So you moved inside a virtual world just by showing this to the camera. So we're using the camera that is on this device and capturing the real world from that. The third game was called Superhero Zapper, and basically what consisted is you had a poster in front of you, and by moving your hands you could point at these superheroes that were appearing, and you were using this mouse ring. So it's a device that you put on your finger, and it is a mouse that you can tap on. So if you got the best points, you could do it. And so there was a special booth for people to play with it, and people were giving feedback, and it was nice to have somebody that people could play with the glasses. Okay, so third thing, and almost last, I wanted to share what I saw there, or the main highlights, I would say, of the event. The first one is, so augmented reality has a long history, actually, and when it started in the 90s, I would say, the main users of augmented reality were for industrial applications. So one of the advantages of augmented reality, when you have to superimpose information, is that it can help you in maintenance of equipment. Okay? So you could be trying to repair a jet and the engine of a jet, and that's a very complex piece of equipment, and you can put these glasses on, see the equipment, so see it in the real world, and have arrows that indicate you. So now you have to unscrew this, unscrew that, etc. So they were the early adopters. Then augmented reality became famous in the 2009, 2010, 11 because of the geo-position in augmented reality. And actually, the industry was still using augmented reality. It's just that they are not famous for communicating everything that they do, but they have been using it. And now, since the head-mounted displays like the Epson or the ODG or others allow for like real use of these devices for augmented reality, I think that they are becoming mainstream. So in the next couple of years, we will see a lot of software, a lot of technology, a lot of HMDs used for repair and maintenance. So that's why smart glasses that are see-through, so that you can really see through, plus have some augmentations, will also help this industrial revolution. And the third one is there was a very heated discussion that I can try to share the link of because it's on YouTube already, between people working on virtual reality and people working on augmented reality. And they were arguing and fighting really strong for who will win or how will the future look like. And it was interesting, but I encourage you to watch the video because it's fun how they fight among them. But my take was that virtual reality, and especially developers and the whole ecosystem, is well prepared to deliver games and entertainment on virtual reality glasses in the short term. So Oculus Rift, Gear VR, all those devices will be shipped, and people like you and me can go to a shop, buy it, and play it. Okay, so this will be like very short term. But these same people who develop applications will be, let's say, well trained or well prepared when augmented reality glasses become mainstream for commercial users. So augmented reality glasses, kind of my take was that it is very well suited for these industrial applications like repairing jets, but they have so many challenges in terms of the technology that is involved that they are not yet ready for commercial use. So for you, even if you took the Epson or took the ODG and you could buy it at a reasonable price, even if developers were well prepared, the underlying software and sensors will not be that well prepared. So this one I started, and it is good. No, okay. So I wanted to share a very happy moment that we had because every year the World Expo has what's called the OGI Award for best application, best tool, best enterprise solution, best blah blah blah. And CATCHOOM was there trying to win for the best tool, so best software. And we had an honorable mention alongside Wikitube. And the winner was Euphoria for the third year in a row. So we are there, we are fighting, and we are now have a good recognition. 3 years ago, we won the OGI for the best startup, because that was our first year. We were only 2 people. Now we have 16 people and trying to deliver software tools for everyone in the augmented reality space. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, David. Next speaker is Yohan. Yohan, are you there?
I am here.
Okay. It's your time.
All right. Thank you, Isidro. Very much. And thanks for the good compliment as well from CATCHOOM. I'm not. I am definitely specializing in the field of augmented reality for a very long time, but I think there is a lot smarter people nowadays that are coming to the table, and a great field developing, and it's very interesting and engaging. So welcome. Hi everybody. My name is Yohan Baillot, and I would like first to maybe introduce my background through sharing a couple of video with you. So I'm going to share my screen now, and hopefully you are able to see this video. So I started to work on augmented reality back in 1995, first at the UNC in Chapel Hill, and then with University of Central Florida. And then I was starting to work with the Naval Research Laboratory, basically the defense sector, in Washington, D.C., where we were developing this kind of very early prototype, like this backpack that you just saw. Then I went on to create my own group within ITT, where we were developing solutions that we could actually deploy. So our community of users were firefighter and military user. And so here what you see in this video is a video of a prototype vehicle augmented reality system equipped with a camera and a very precise GPS system. And what you see is the video coming from the camera being augmented here with a firefighter, or one of my employees at the time, moving around and being augmented. And you can see this green box is moving as it's moving around. This system was demonstrated to firefighters. They love it. Unfortunately, it was too early for this kind of development, and the funding community in the defense sector or the firefighter sector. So in 2011, my group was actually transformed inside the company, and I lost the opportunity to work on this kind of solution. But I went.
Yohan.
Yes.
Excuse me. Are you changing images or slides, because we are still watching the first?
Okay. You don't see anything going on right now?
We are not watching the video. It's just
okay.
stopped at the first.
Okay, let me start the sharing again and see if we can maybe see that. How is that? You see the screen now?
Yeah, it's the first frame.
It's still the first frame. Okay, well, we can stop the video and I can open another document instead. It's unfortunate. Let me try to open another one, another video, if you don't mind. Do you see that one, possibly?
No, it's okay. You can play in the previous video if you want.
It's still okay. Let me try to share my screen again. Okay. How is that? Still nothing?
Okay, now it's playing.
Okay, so in that video you see me wearing HeadMountedDisplay of the PD40, I believe, from Lumus. It's one of their aircraft display inside this augmented reality vehicle, and I guess this was kind of the first kind of interface that were usable for the military and first responder user. And the idea was to provide the user with a direct view through a HMD inside the cockpit of the vehicle, instead of looking at the view from a camera on the screen that you see behind the video. Hopefully you can see that. Is everybody seeing that? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna switch to now a presentation. I have now joined Accenture, and I'd like to make a small presentation about that. Are you seeing the first slide?
No, it's in black screen.
You still don't see that? Okay. Let's see if I can maybe. Okay. How is that?
Okay, perfect.
The presentation?
Yeah.
Can you see the presentation?
Now we are watching the PowerPoint screen with the small slides on the left.
I cannot hear you, Isidro.
We are watching the PowerPoint screen with the small slides on the left and the right.
Okay, so do you see the first slide with enterprise wearable technology?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're working on at the wearable technology practice in Accenture that I just joined 2 months ago, to be more acquainted with the deployment of wearable on enterprise sector, we're working on integrated several kind of industrial grade wearable device with software that some vendor like Apex or Augmented are starting to deploy to facilitate the large-scale deployment of those devices. The wearable sector, I would say, is ripe to deployment in those industrial sector, and we're making progress into transitioning from pilot to large-scale airport. So this is talking more about our price sales. I'm not going to go in detail on that. Those are some of our clients that we're currently doing with. I'm sorry?
I think you may share the presentation. We are watching the main screen of PowerPoint.
I'm sorry, Isidro, I cannot understand what you're saying. You don't see my screen?
Yeah, we are watching the main screen of PowerPoint. The main slide on the right and the small slides on the left. This is the screen we are watching.
And so you don't see it when I see it on as a slideshow like this? You don't see it?
No. You can stay in this window, but using the scroll to change the slide. It's enough, I think.
Okay. Well, let me go to the final point I wanted to make. It seems that we have a problem to share video and slide. I apologize about that, but let me not take the time from everybody. And what I wanted to kind of talk about in this meeting, in addition of our expertise in wearable at Accenture, was where I think the industry needed to still focus a bit of their attention. The things that are kind of problematic to the introduction of augmented reality and the wearable eyewear for augmented reality. I think there's still a lot of work that needs to be done on standard to promote the interoperability of eyewear with other kind of device and with the ability to share content and the ability for several vendor solutions to work with each other. There's still a lot of vendors that are focusing on trying to develop the full stack rather than trying to provide a good piece of the puzzle. I think there is definitely an advantage in trying to promote standards. There is different group working on those standards, but I don't see yet a big industry movement that will really let the augmented reality field explode. There is also a lack of operating system which allowed for the different provider of augmented reality content to just focus on the application and the content. And as a consequence, because the operating system does not support augmented reality rendering and tracking, each application has to reproduce this capability more or less well, and that's a bit of a problem because it takes a lot of time for each developer to create the application, and on top of that, the user has to keep switching between those different applications to provide different content. So obviously, there is new development like the HoloLens and the Windows 10 operating system that might change this, but this is still a big need, and we don't really know if the HoloLens yet will deliver on that. There will be then a problem probably to fuse information coming from different information resource and data source that will populate your display, and to avoid information overload, we will need to deal with that. We need to be able to display the information that is relevant only to your context, what you are doing at the current time, and there is definitely still a lot of research to be done and no commercial development that has been done whatsoever in that direction. This, I think, is a big need coming up. And finally, I would say that there is also a need for consolidation between all the gesture interface that have been proposed by different devices. It seems that there is a lot of very exotic interaction paradigm that may be sometimes inspired by science fiction or the movie, but are not very practical when actually used every or for a long time. So I think there is a need for the industry to inspire of previous UI research that has been done for quite a long time for other interfaces such as the desktop or the mobile, and to maybe inspire themselves more of those development to produce something that is more usable and maybe less exotic or good to look at. So that being said, I hope I brought some information to this meeting, and thank you very much for having me today, and have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, Yohan. I forgot to ask for people if have any question for the speakers. If you have any question for Yohan, please.
I have one for Yohan, this is David Marimon. And I wanted to ask you from the summary of challenges for augmented reality in terms of which ones you think will be addressed first and which one will take longer. How would you choose them?
From this challenge, I think the apparition of an operating system will probably facilitate the production of capability to use the information, because it's going to become something integral to the OS, a capability that needs to be inside of it, as well as some interaction paradigms that are maybe more homogeneous across different applications and different content. So I think the OS is probably the first step of that, and definitely something that is going to change the whole picture for the field. So I definitely think the OS will come before, and then from that, those two other points will be improved. I think the standard is probably going to take much longer because there is a lot of competition, a lot of players wanted to all do the complete system, and not necessarily interested in collaborating with other competing companies. So that's kind of the way I see things.
Johan, do you think a big player like Google or Apple will drive such a new operating system, or somebody not the dominant part?
I definitely think that Google and Apple are working on something. I just don't know about it. But we have evidence that Google is getting more and more interested in VR, and potentially creating also a 3D Android OS, as well as Apple recently acquiring Meta.io and entering with a tracking capability in the market. But they have not announced anything as I know. But yeah, I believe they are definitely working on something. So hopefully by the end of this year or beginning of next year, we might have those three giants having some competing solution, which will be very healthy for the market.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Done?
Yes.
Okay, it's your time, please.
All right. Well, thank you for inviting me to speak, and I want to thank David from CATCHOOM for the nice comments. I thought what I would do is, and pardon for the English, but I barely speak English, so I cannot speak Spanish. So, anyways, I thought what I would do is I'd show you a little bit of history, since everybody has seen a lot of the new stuff. I thought I'd show you where some of this stuff has come from. and and then before I actually talk about the future and make some comments on what Yohan just mentioned. But you know, a lot of people ask me, you know, what got you into wearable tech? And this was my first wearable tech. This was way back when in the 80s when I had a marine company and we were looking for shipwrecks. And as you can see, it's quite a big piece of wearable tech. And of course, nowadays they're actually putting cameras and augmented reality in these types of devices. But many of you probably are of the belief that, you know, Google certainly created the market, which they did light a big fire into the market, but they weren't the first guys to create the technology. In fact, they even copied the technology. So here's a version of 1997, the first binocular headset. And then, of course, you can see Google took the same thing and just cut half of it away and made Google Glass. Well, so what I thought I'd do here is I'm going to go back to the camera here for a second. And I'm going to show you some of these devices so you can see where they actually came from and that they're real. So I just showed you where Google came from, where Google Glass came from. This is the actual pair that they had at their facility that they used to make the glass. So you can see there's the wire rim glasses up here. It was a binocular type of device. It had two displays on both sides which sent information through the prism-based system. This pair, you can actually tilt it down or move it back and forth as well, so you have good situational awareness, or you can do a look down, look up, or look straight in front of you type of approach. But this was made in 1997 timeframe by my previous company, MyView Corporation, which was micro-optical. Then there was a move to get to more of a see-through type of technology, and this is not a waveguide technology. This is still using a prism-based technology, similar to what Epson does, and the nose bridge is gone here, so it's slipping off of my nose here. But what you can see here is that there's a projecting device on the side here, and that projects through into a beam splitter, which comes back to your eye. The image comes back to your eye, so it's a transmissive type of device. You can see through it. Oh, sorry, my hold on a second. My green screen thing here is acting up here. Let me just go back here and fix this. Sorry. Let me just kill the background here first, since it doesn't seem to be. Whoop, that doesn't work. Let me kill the green screen here. Okay. So as you can see, as I was mentioned, you can actually see the prism inside here. And it comes back, the image comes back to your eye and allows you to see through. Then the move was actually trying to get to a consumer product, because a lot of those products were very expensive. So we actually ended up moving into the consumer marketplace to make video glasses. And this is a product that we call Crystal, and it had two VGA displays here. You still had good situational awareness around you. You could look above, you could look below if you wanted to, but it allowed you to sit on an airplane or in your home and watch movies on a big screen TV. This was not augmented reality yet. It wasn't virtual reality. It was just home entertainment. The next move from this, when we were actually acquired by Foxconn, before all our patents were sold to Google for glass, we actually created the world's, in 2010, we created the world's first Android wearable headset smart glasses. And this one was a backband type of approach that we created. So you simply would slip this over your head like this, and then you adjust the eyepiece any way that you wanted to. It had a built-in camera, built-in display, earbuds, the whole works, just like most of the smart glasses have today. So this we actually started creating in 2010, and we actually showed at CES 2011. The other unique thing about this is that if you didn't want to wear this in a backband, you could actually take the camera assembly off and part of the smarts to this, and this could be attached to any type of cap, baseball cap or glasses or anything that you would like, and use it as a much smaller device. But what we did that was unique here is we created a system for this device. As many as you know, Google went out there, they announced glass, and the world didn't quite know what to do with it. Well, we did something a little bit differently back in 2010. we created a little Android controller. And this controller worked with this. So yes, it was wired. There was a wire that went between these two. And we created this so that not only did you have your battery in here, that would give you all-day performance, but because it was an Android system, we put lots of games in here. And you could take this when you were done using the camera, doing augmented reality. You could take this, put it away, and you could take your little Android controller, and you could now plug it into your TV at home, and you and 3 of your friends could use your cell phones as game controllers and could control the augmented reality controller. And this allowed you to play video games. So you had dual use capability here of going between augmented reality and social networking with the camera and peer-to-peer communications, and go to a gaming mode if you wanted to do that. Of course, nowadays the world's changed quite a bit since then. Glass is coming out with version 2. You know, Vuzix, as I have on here, the M100 was one of the first successful, well, it has been successful up to this point, monocular devices that are out there. You're seeing the ODG products, you're seeing Laster products, you're seeing a lot of different technology hit the market. Waveguide technology is coming along, so instead of prism-based systems like the M100 has, you have waveguide technology where light is actually inserted in between the surface of the lens here, bounced around, internal reflection, until it comes back out to your eye. And a lot of advances are being made there. What we have been doing now, what I've been doing recently with EMAGIN, and as you saw the poster in back of me beforehand, is we're actually taking EMAGIN's OLED displays, and we're building different types of headsets that can be used for augmented reality and virtual reality. So just like Oculus and Vive and some of the other products, this is an immersive type of headset that can be AR or VR. Well, what's unique about this is that it's extremely high resolution. This is 2,000 pixels per eye. That's 4 times what you get on an Oculus device. So when you look into this display, there's no what we call screen door effect where you can see the pixels and the black lines between them. It's like looking at something real in your hand. So this device, when you put it on, slip it over my head for a second, has that steampunk sort of look and feel like the Valve guys have. You can pick up the displays, so you can look around if you like. Now I got the scuba diver sort of look. But you notice that the lens here are very, very thin. And this is what separates what we've been doing compared to everybody else out there has these huge optical elements. And this is the key to any augmented reality or virtual reality system. And that's the optical system. Anybody can build the electronics, anybody can do the software, but it's the optics that everybody forgets about. And this is where the next generation of augmented reality and virtual reality or mixed reality products are going to have to focus, getting these as thin as possible and higher resolution so that it really looks like what you're seeing in front of you in real life. Just to end this, I wanted to comment a little bit on what Yohan said. You know, seen a lot of changes in the marketplace. There's a lot of this that we see going on that's reminiscent of other days in my previous lives working in system engineering and that sort of thing. But what we have going on in the marketplace right now is we've got these little islands, hardware, software, and other types of products and corporations building things. These all have to come together. I would agree that Apple, Intel, Google, all those guys who are currently making acquisitions, swallowing up these companies, are going to start putting things together in a way that makes it more cohesive for all users in the long run. I mean, take a look at Android, for instance. I did a lot of work on the enterprise space over the last few years. One of the biggest problems that enterprise has with a lot of these bring-your-own devices, whether they're cell phones or wearable technology, is that Android is not an operating system for a corporation. I mean, look at these corporations. They have taken Windows, Microsoft Windows, and they lock it down for 3 years, and you can't touch it for 3 years. You can't upgrade it for 3 years. Google, on the other hand, there's a new release of Android coming out every 6 months. So how do you deal with that from corporate IT and security standpoint? So those are some of the big issues that we're seeing in the industry today. All right, thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. No? Hello? Anybody there?
Here, Tom.
Oh, okay. Do we lose them?
Me as well.
Okay. Did I lose you, or?
Okay.
What's the refresh rate of your device? What is the refresh rate?
If that's somebody asking a question, I can't hear it.
What's the refresh rate of the device?
This device, the refresh rate, the prototype is running at 60 hertz. This goes to 85 right now with a new firmware change, and we can do 120 with a new hardware change that's coming along in the electronics.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Next presentation is Alex. This is the last presentation. Next Alex will present a project. Okay, 1 second.
Yo parlaré. Bueno, sí, castellano bien. Vale. Bueno, yo seré rápido, es una presentación muy ágil y de hecho lo que presentaremos es un juego de realidad virtual, ¿vale? Hecho con Oculus. Bueno, nuestra empresa es muy pequeñita, es un estudio y nos dedicamos al edutainment tecnológico, ¿de acuerdo? Edutainment es educación y educación y entretenimiento a partes iguales. Se ha dicho de muchas maneras, pero yo en mi época la conozco de edutainment, ¿vale? ¿Qué hacemos? Tenemos como principios básicos los valores sociales, valores culturales, que aprendan, la creatividad, la calidad y el R+D, ¿vale? Os quiero decir de dónde vienen mis ganas de hacer realidad virtual y todo esto. Pues esta es la tesina que hicimos al final del proyecto de turismo en el año 94-95, ¿vale? Y lo hicimos en multimedia y teníamos que poner hasta instrucciones de cómo se utilizaba, de cómo podías navegar. Y aquí está el sistema de virtual. En ese tiempo había una película que se llamaba Johnny Mnemonic, ¿vale? Y ya comenzaba a hablarse bastante de la realidad virtual, ¿no? La innovación que lleva. La innovación lleva que, por ejemplo, de todas las gafas que ha sacado la otra persona, esta no ha sacado y fecha que la sacaría también. Esta es unas gafas de 1995 y se llamaba Virtual Boy, era de Nintendo. Los gráficos que hacían eran estos, ¿vale? La innovación era, sí que era muy innovador, tal, pero no cuajó, ¿vale? Teníamos un proyecto nosotros también, en su tiempo, de innovación, en el 2007, que era de QRs y hacíamos hiperficción explorativa, es decir, tenías que ir con el móvil, pues con los QRs y te iba diciendo cosas que tenías que hacer como una sintoma virtual. Aquí también hay un proyecto que queríamos hacer de un videojuego que también utilizaba realidad aumentada. De hecho, aquí hay Richard Ever que le puede sonar esto. Este proyecto le puede sonar de la Generalitat, ¿vale? Sí, ¿no? Vale, la innovación que lleva. La innovación, yo hablo desde mi época en el 2007, llevaba lo siguiente, que nos veían como esto. ¿Vale? Cuando nosotros explicábamos proyectos de este tipo, éramos esto, 500 poco. ¿Vale? Ahora, con el tiempo, más o menos, nos ven así. ¿Vale? Han cambiado las maneras, ha cambiado la manera de que nos visualiza la gente emprendedor, gente innovadora, ha cambiado la manera de cómo nos ven. ¿Vale? Antes éramos algo que no entendían para nada, sobre todo las instituciones públicas. Yo he trabajado en bastantes instituciones públicas y era así. Y ahora comienza a decir, hostia, a ver, ¿qué es esto que más o menos eres como Dios y a ver qué nos puedes ofrecer, ¿no? Hay una frase que me gusta mucho de Yohan que más o menos dice esto, dice, tiene que ser en el momento justo y en el tiempo justo, ni antes ni después. Esa es la realidad. ¿Qué pasa ahora? Que ahora tenemos la suerte, bueno, y de hecho, una cosa que digo siempre es que a veces se gana y otras se aprende, ¿vale? ¿Y qué he aprendido? A estar en el momento justo. Y ahora estamos en este momento justo. Ahora tenemos la oportunidad de hacer cosas y que nos entiendan. A nivel de realidad aumentada y a nivel de realidad virtual, ¿vale? Lo que yo digo, it's time to play, es tiempo de jugar. Nosotros, ¿cómo los hemos enfocado? Con videojuegos, ¿vale? Tenemos ya algunos videojuegos, con la codificación y también con el transmedia, en este caso programas de televisión, etc. ¿Vale? Y cada uno tiene su target. Para jugadores, para visitantes, sobre todo para el tema de turismo, está funcionando muy bien, sobre todo en museos, y para los que visualizan películas. Vale. Nosotros, ¿cómo nos hemos centrado? Nos hemos centrado en apps para niños, ¿vale? Ya tenemos una, se llama White la Tribu. Nos hemos centrado también en juegos de cartas y en otros juegos, pues, en este caso que ahora presentaremos, que es el caso de un juego de Oculus, ¿vale? Que se llama Snowboard Rider. El equipo que tenemos, no, bueno, esto el equipo no es, esto es una cosa que nosotros íbamos. Os aseguro que lo primero que haremos en realidad aumentada es este bicho. Porque tener este bicho, poner este bicho o sea, ponértelo físicamente, como lo he puesto, que es un disfraz, la verdad es que con el calor que hace, y esto es una de las cosas que se puede hacer con realidad aumentada rápido, lo graban, los niños hacen las fotos y tú no estás allí, o sea que es fantástico. ¿Vale? El equipo que somos un equipo y nosotros decimos que somos creadores de contenido. ¿Vale? Muchas veces se dice que es más importante, o sea, lo que yo veo o lo que he visto desde hace tiempo es que las cosas tú dices, mira, tengo esto, que puedo hacer esto, que puedo hacer aquello, que puedo hacer no sé qué. Vale, pero ¿para qué lo voy a hacer? Creo que lo importante ahora mismo no es el qué, sino el por qué. ¿Por qué voy a hacer esto? Ostras, pues mira, lo voy a utilizar para los museos y voy a hacer un producto de entertainment que los niños podrán utilizarlo y podrán estar en grupos y harán una gincama en el museo. Vale, ok. ¿Vale? Esa es la idea. Nosotros hemos hecho un grupo que más o menos cada uno toca su rama, ¿vale? Creativa. Aquí hay un escritor que hace los hilos conductores de cada historia, el ilustrador, el programador y una educadora. Es importante el tema de entertainment, pues que haya educadora. Y ahora os presentaremos el juego. Es un juego que está pensado para Oculus y hoy mismo también hemos cerrado con Nintendo para la Wii U, ¿vale? Y será así con el Balance Board ese. Y bueno, creo que es muy chulo y que todo funciona muy bien. ¿Vale? No hay música, pero bueno. ¿Funciona algo? No.
This Wearable video shows in English best, no? English, okay. I'm very sorry that it's not working right now. The Oculus was keen to show you the game and to get some feedback as well. And this is a bit the problem when you work with beta equipment, and my friend who has access to the Oculus right now is in Los Angeles at B3, so I couldn't get access to his Oculus and to his equipment, so I'm afraid I have to confirm myself with the videos. I'll tell you a bit about how this was done and problems we found, which is one of these Unity and Oculus integration. Theoretically, it's very easy until you run it. I don't know. I think only other people have run into issues with that as well. Maybe it's just me having very bad luck. So, game is about going to the mountain. It's about snowboarding, going right, left. It's quite easy to explain. But you have to rescue those cats in the few cats in the mountain. So it makes the game replayable. Every level can be played several times because you can go left way, right way, sort of a halfway between closed way and sandbox world. It's not totally open, but you still can decide which way you go. That game, tools we used were basically it's all on terrains. So we used World Machine to make the terrains, imported them to Unity with the terrain composer, and applied the shaders of the relief parent package. You give a good look to the terrain. Another package called Easy-Road 3D to make our way through the mountains, because it's not all on terrain. Sometimes you really have to adjust the terrain to get a clear way. Put the 3D models from my modbox in the same unit into Unity. So, and we had all these nice videos, and we thought, oh, once you play that in 3D, that must be wow, as you have all those jumps, the speed, acceleration, turns, pass by those closer objects, you have tunnels and other spaces that really pass close by. But the real reaction when I first tried my game was that. So motion sickness or simulation sickness, I think, really is a big problem on it. And the base problem is, can you go one back? At least one back. Is that many of the things that are cool on the Oculus are the things that give you the problem. All those speed, passing object close by, quick turns are risky as well. Another trade-off we have is the same. You want to have awesome graphics, detailed terrains, but you want to have 75 frames per second, which is a trade-off. It's not always easy, especially because, at least in me, Oculus has itself, the SDK, has a huge performance impact in the profile of Unity. Further, this is just turning on the Oculus. Not only you have to render twice, but I also noticed a huge performance impact from the post-processing. So you have to make compromises. You have to go back to the times to PlayStation 1 or 2 times where you really have to optimize. Maybe not that extreme for Oculus. It would go for the Gear or even worse. Now Oculus requires really powerful GPUs, which I don't know if it's a good decision. It's good news for us in the sense that we don't have to optimize that much, because they require GPUs that I can't even dream of. The 970, I think. So we really can do the awesome graphics. On the other hand, I think so it's really oriented to hardcore gamers then, or exhibitions. But who of you has a 90 series GPU card installed in his computer? So we'll see if that is a good marketing option. But for developers, it makes life easier. You have to do all this optimization, which is not specific to Oculus, but terrain you can do a lot with adjusting the pixel error. Occlusion culling might help. Some light baking is a must. In the new Unity 5, it takes us days, not weeks, to bake one scene, which doesn't make the development process quicker. yeah, and the available computer. You can adjust, make some compromises also with the anti-aliasing or the text to size you render to. You can scale it up more or less, so you have less pixels to fill. But you might get more speed, more better frame rate, but you lose image quality. There's no free lunch. Another issue we have in the games is I don't like those 2D displays. Already the health and safety one in front of the Oculus somehow makes me feel uncomfortable. This is not the idea of the Oculus to have this 2D floating before your eyes. So now again we really try to put all the GUI elements into 3D objects. So we have a map on the wall where you can choose the circuit, you choose your board from physical boards, and you go out to the door to start the game. So basically, we have this friends and fours. Well, I noticed it really works well in game. Not the only one that noticed that. It's light contrast, dark scene with a fire in the middle, for example, which enhances with particle systems, emissives. All the large caves or canyons really are spectacular. It's a big difference to 2D or the 3D immersion when you can look up and see walls like that. That makes a difference. Unity 5 makes a big difference in illumination. And now with the 5.1, finally we can test the Oculus in play mode, which really speeds up development time, hopefully. Normal maps don't really, can be tricky to get too close, because then you notice the trick, but it's not really stereoscopic. Large particles as well, you notice easier because it's just 2D. But another word about it. Okay. And I think that's all for today. Thank you.
Any questions?
What kind of graphics card do you work with?
It's not even a GTX, it's a G720 I have at work. So I experience a lot of motion sickness. It's sort of hard for me to, I have to test the Oculus. But my friend has a 770, but on 770 it works.
Okay, then thank you, Lasso. Thank you, Alex, for coming. And we have finished the speeches, and that's all for today. I think that we have a new perception of virtual reality gaming applying to this, and most of the speakers have shown the last news about virtual worlds and virtual devices. I think it has been one of the best meetups since today. I think so because of the quality of the contents. Of course, Alex says. Yeah, if you come again with us, we will do new meetup every 3 months. This will be our chance. Maybe next will be on September. Probably we will talk about the industry of films, where we are watching new opportunities for this kind of technologies. I recommend to you to watch the last films that are including new methodologies on rendering. If you watch the Jurassic World film, dinosaurs have been animated not with the typical way as previous films. They have animated with particle systems. It has been a new way of, and the results are really amazing. Maybe this will be a next step in these technologies, a new field to explore. And I'm inviting to you to come again to the meetup next September. And that's it. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Juan. And Johan is not here, but thank you for your contribution to the meetup. And I hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.